دقيقة بعد العشاء. 1 minute after Isha is our, mashallah, blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to sit in the masjid and learn about Him and mention Him and remember Him. And one thing is guaranteed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said something that if we truly internalize, if we think about it, you will lose your mind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Just reflect on this one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, mention me, I will mention you. Wallahi, you will lose your mind if we don't. Our mind is limited. We will never be able to understand the majesty and the power and the King of all kings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the universe, is mentioning us by name. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you remember Him in any gathering, Allah will remember you and mention you in a gathering better than it. In a gathering, obviously, of the angels and so on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who remember Him. The other day we spoke about dua. And we said, we must make dua. We must learn dua. Absolutely. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned one hadith. He says, أقرب in this life, أقرب ما يكون العبد من ربه وهو ساجد. The closest you can get to Allah in this life when you are in sajda. In this life, the closest you can get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you fall into sajda. It's called fall into sajda. Yeah? And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have sajda, it's called sajda al-shukr. When some good news come to him, he will fall into sajda. Some of us maybe never done this before. It's a good habit to go into. When you get good news, you fall into sajda and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, if you are the closest to Allah in sajda, he didn't finish. He didn't put full stop. He says, فَأَكْثِرُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الدُّعَاءِ. He says, this is your chance to pour your heart out, to speak to Allah. Make plenty of dua because you are the closest now. So what all of us suffer from, we're busy, subhanallah. We're so busy, we just say this, give me 2 minutes, I finish my prayer. Give me 2 minutes, I finish my prayer. And they are very emphasis. How many times you say Subhana Rabbil A'la? How many times? This is 3? Is it? No, it's not that. It's not that. If you love something, you don't count the time. Yeah? There's people who buy Sky something to watch the Olympics. I heard them today. They buy special subscription so they can watch the Olympics, even though the time is crazy. But they buy it. Why? Because they love it. And they don't feel that, oh, I'm wasting my time. Subhanallah. Wallahi, 1 minute sajda, you can say a lot of things. But some of us don't even give 1 minute sajda. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave a warning to those people. He says, the worst type of thieves. The worst types of thieves. Not the one who steals money from others. He says the one who steals from his salah. Yeah? He says the worst type of thieves are those who steal from the salah. People say, how do you steal from salah? He says, لا يتم ركوعها وسجودها. He doesn't complete and do proper sujood, proper ruku'. And we all being there. We all done that. But the idea is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who improve themselves, fix themselves. Because we're human beings, after all. We're not angels. Angel can make one sajda 1 billion years, no problem. Allah will never judge us in that standard. But as human being, that's why the blessing in here, to learn, to remind each other, to really make sajda, one sajda every day, that you say, this sajda is good. One sajda a day. I'm not saying make every single sajda. Just one sajda a day that your heart and mind in it, and say, oh, subhanAllah, I enjoy that one. I talk to Allah, Ya Allah, I can see there's millions and millions of people can't see. They will never be able to see. I can walk, millions and millions of people can't even find wheelchair. If wheelchair is a blessing for them. They walk in our countries, yeah? They walk and they just shuffle on the ground. Millions, literally millions. And you can keep counting. So remember this in your sajda, that you have no medicine, that you just eat and enjoy. There is no lack of water, no lack of electricity, no lack of clothes. All these things is not, as we always say, we're not entitled. It's a blessing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. You will be absolutely 100%, remember this, you will be questioned. You will be asked, I give you everything you need, what did you give back? How did you use it? How was your salah, the first thing? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who remember Him, make us from those who ask Him and make lots of dua for Him. May Allah accept our salah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala beautify our salah and make it acceptable and make it like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prayed. وَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا.